ARCHIVAL 2020 and CITV is on the road again. Rolling through the Mecca, Trinidad, the mother of Carnival. I'm Lady V. Come ride with us.
Yo, this is your boy Aaron Duncan speaking, and we're keeping culture alive by watching Caribbean Inside TV. Because we're coming back, hey, back to basics again. Boom.
From every crevice, every corner, we go crawl out. Shelter now. Nuclear bomb is a fallout. Watch how the boy them activate me. And now it's time for KI to go all out. Thanks for the masses, thanks for the bliss, thanks for the memories, so we to reminisce. Without the support that you give to me, I could have never be here saying thank you for this. Now stop if you think I was ever thinking that I could ever be like Bungie Garlin. There's a million thoughts going fast through my brain, but no one of them is me being Bungie Garlin. It's a zombie song, we go drive insane like a madness infect your chronic migraine. Put your hands in the air, let me fly up again. It's the zombie blood in your vein. We jumping in mud, we jumping in powder. I tell you it's oil and water dripping down when the Juve jumpy them come. We jumping in mud, we jumping in powder. I tell you it's oil and water dripping down when the Juve jumpy them come. We shouting out Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy's coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming. 2010 was the year that we start this, when the keyboard man turn a artist with a song about a woman that I catch in a car. If I sing that now, they go ban this. Let me not start to tell you about the fight down, all of the ways that they try to bring me right down. This is a secret, don't tell nobody. Wanna just pay more right, 40 grand, you're not right for me. And then all you could hear was just, you're sleeping and you're hearing this. The youngest monarch to ever get crowned. Thank you all 3 times for the win. Thanks Marshall for the knowledge and the blessings this way. Allow me for the borrow till I had it my way. If I had to fly a plane, who you rather teach me? The pilot or the person by the door who greet my ears mud. We jumping in powder. I tell you it's oil and water dripping down when the Juve jumpy them come. We jumping in mud, we jumping in powder. I tell you it's oil and water dripping down when the Juve jumpy them come. We shouting out Jumpy coming, Jumpy's coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy's coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming. And then the media tried to condition me and put me in competition with he. Now the results come back and all you see it's a KIA and then but the good and the true. You thought I was gonna come try and take that from you. I wouldn't change rivals for nothing. Yo, people like me, there's only come in few. It's have an ex-singer from a band I will talk about. Let me tell you what I think about he. We jumping in mud, we jumping in powder. I tell you it's oil and water dripping down when the Juve jumpy them come. We jumping in mud, we jumping in powder. I tell you it's oil and water dripping down when the Juve jumpy them come. We shouting out Jumpy's coming, Jumpy's coming, Jumpy's coming, Jumpy's coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming, Jumpy coming. Let me fast forward to the future. Now the date is April 3rd. I will be somewhere with my people taking the jumbies all over the world. But if the date is now, then it mean that I would have write this song in the past. So I hope that I jumped on a wave, cause you never know which carnival was your last. Hello there, hello.
But let the people's story be told. But it's a long, long time till we come out for action. Glory days come to hung. I come with my bell, just a second devotion. Rock the rap so we dumb. Oh, oh, I ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Bell down there, don't let them ring the bell for the rap so we dumb. Ring the bell down there, come on let me ring it all over. Ring it all over, ring it all over, ring it all it in the House of Congress. I bring it in a Buckingham Palace, in the Kremlin and Washington. I bring it in the Vatican too, Lord. I ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell, ring the bell. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for justice. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for culture. Ring the bell down there. Ring the bell for freedom. Ring the bell down there. God has said the ring of the bell for the rhapsody down. Ring the bell down there. Come on, let me bring it all over. I bring it all over. I bring it all over. Lord, I bring it all over. Hey!
We are on the road to Carnival 2020, and we stopped off at Tuco's office. And we are chatting with the president of Tuco, Brother Resistance. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me.
I know you have a big name, you know, but I just get a problem to pronounce it. Pronounce it for me now.
Oh, I am Lutalo Masimba.
Thank you very much. We know Tuco been around for more than 25 years now. Let the people know about Tuco and the role that the organization plays within the carnival.
Tuco is actually the Trinidad Unified Calypso Organization, and it is indeed a members organization. Some people get tired by saying, well, you know, the special interest group in the carnival. It's not a carnival organization. It's a members organization. It represents the Calypsonians in as many ways as possible. Carnival, of course, is a representation for the Calypsonians, whatever style of calypso they do, and in terms of relationships or discussions with the government through the NCC and things like that.
Since you've been the president of Tuco, what are some of the changes that you, Brother Resistance, implemented?
That's a hard question to answer.
Hard question?
Yeah, because I came into the post in an acting position, and we had a matter that was to be sorted out in terms of some members had brought a court action against the organization. So, and that was going on for a number of years. So the most important thing was to extract the organization from that situation, and that took a while. And then we restarted the work on the organization's constitutional amendments, which was the reason in the first place for us being in the courthouse.
Okay.
You know, so through that affected a number of things that we could have done or we should have done. However, we did manage to establish a health and injury plan from ground up. And that means, when we say ground up, we mean it's an internally built mechanism through the cooperation and the collaboration with Dr. Hutchinson and a whole team of medical professionals. So we have a health and injury situation where we could, so it's open to the members, but the health of the members is a different conversation. Because only an individual could look after their own health issues.
That's correct.
Right? A health plan doesn't mean, well, after you stump your toe, you come running by the doctor.
Right.
It means a wholesomeness in the way in which you
take
care of yourself. Yeah, so that was one aspect. We have been working on a number of proposals over the years. Many of them would need the support of the state to become fruitful. For instance, the convalescent home project, that's for Calypsonians in recovery or Calypsonians who may have situations in terms of the healthcare and housing, so to speak.
Okay.
And that project is a number of years old. I inherited that project actually from a previous president, Legaton. And that has not come to fruition as yet because it depends on the support of the government of the day or the state. So a number of projects like that, the project, the World Museum of Calypso, a very important project that has seen presentation to over 3 different administrations. And still we work on it. We have the support of a number of persons who are not in the organization but who love Calypso and who understand the importance of such a project. And we're looking forward to that with great optimism, really. You know, so some of the main items going forward.
Tell us some of the things that Tuco is involved in or currently doing to ensure that the Calypso art form stays alive.
Well, the quest for a broadcast license continues. That's the most important framework.
Explain that.
We live in a country where we have about 35 radio stations, and of these 35 radio stations, we could count only one or maybe two that play strictly local music. You know, that is an embarrassment for us as a people. People would see it as well. That's Calypsonian business, but for us as a people, where our struggle for 50% local content still has not rung the bell in the right ears to become reality. You know, that struggle for local airplay to be on the same space, to be considered as equal with the music that comes from abroad, the music that comes from foreign. You know, after 50-something years of independence, I mean, come on, you know. So we can't give up that struggle. And one of the steps to making sure that we continue on the right path is the establishment of a Calypso radio.
Because it's hard for artists, they work all year, they make so many songs and then they can't hear the music. We understand that.
It's a lot easier now because we have social media, and in doing so, it's getting the Calypsonians to understand that social media is extremely important. You don't have to necessarily wait on the radio stations and that kind of thing. But still, I know, when you say that, I know what you mean, because you produce your music and you just want to hear it play. You just want to hear that music in your ears, because it sustains your motivation to make more music.
That's correct.
In this year time. It also means that if the music is not played, persons or companies who would have been inclined to invest in the music no longer interested. So each Calypso artist now becomes his own or her own producer and executive producer, you know, to put the music out there. So it's a hard road.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it from the man himself, Brother Resistance. He's talking to us about the rough road that Calypsonians have to walk. The road they have to walk in order for them to hear their own local music played in their own station. But you're doing some good things. You have some good plans and you have some good things coming up. And we'll be right back with much more.
Hey, I'm Kenny Phillips, and you're tuned into Caribbean Insight, keeping culture alive on the road to Carnival 2020.
TV family, thank you for making Caribbean Insight your #1 stop for culture. Today we have over 10,000 subscribers. You have showed your interest in keeping Caribbean culture alive. We are offering you the Morris Bishop t-shirt, a shirt that invokes thought and empowerment. It's a collector's item, a memorabilia. For your participation, go to the link below and make your contribution to foster the value of our Caribbean cultural stories. Thank you for your support as we continue to develop.
Stranger, poverty is hell. I believe that base man gone forever. Who was the best man? Answer the question. He was a warrior on a musical mission to capture that desire within his soul. This genius departed his homeland to seek out his flow. He was the grandson of a choir master, captivated by Abyssina. From the time he heard Calypso play, he fell in love with the music right away. He knew back then that there were two men who run the Calypso world, and Shadow planned to deal with them. He sent the threat, but them big boys fret. Man, they think that he was a joke until they see the smoke. I tell you, he give them fire, transform the savannah, break the stranglehold of the Kaiso controllers. People call up Shadow, Shadow. What an appearance! Black hat, black coat, and the Shadow sat up pants. If you hear him, Shadow, Shadow. Man, he let them know he was planning to forget Calypso and go and plant peas in Tobago. And let them say it's like it all Jumbie. He let go in the city, they couldn't touch Winston, McGallan, Bailey. Who was the best man? Answer the question. Who was the best man? Answer the question. He was a champion who created history and had the people wanting more. So he produced an album of the highest quality, and far and wide his music soared with hits like Dingole, One Love, and Everybody is Somebody. These are just a few on his music list, a range of melodious sweetness. In 2000 he captured the monarchy when he asked the question, what's wrong with me? And 1 year later, man, he shake up the sucker. When they think that he was over, he dropped Here Come the Stranger. Man, he had them jumping, flag waving, rolling it from night till morning. People follow Shadow, Shadow, jubilation. Oh, once again, he take everything and go. If you hear them, Shadow, Shadow, all in the street, the young and the old, chip into the Shadow beat, man. Let them say it's like it all Jumbie. He let go in the city, they couldn't touch Winston, McGallan, Bailey. Who was the best man? Answer the question. Who was the best man? Answer the question. Where all them like it all Jumbie to bring back Mr. Bailey, R.I.P. Winston, McGallan, Bailey. It wasn't all like it all Jumbie. He let go in the city. It was just Winston, McGallan, Bailey. Say his name, say his name, say his name, say his name. Winston, McGallan, Bailey. So let me hear you, Winston, Winston, Winston. Oh gosh, Winston, McGallan, Bailey.
I ain't come to argue, won't you understand? I like plenty pepper, I'm the pepper man. I like pepper in my lamb, pepper in my ham, pepper on top my bread, pepper in my pork, tip on my fork, pepper until I dead. Always like my pepper, since the day I born, but I ain't eating nothing that I can't put pepper on. My girlfriend did call me just the other day. As I get the message, went up right away. She had turkey and chicken, both finger licking, pigeon peas and rice, pillau and pastel washed down with sorrel, everything looking nice. She offered some sushi, raw meat I just gone, so I ain't eating nothing that I can't put pepper on. Pepper. me try something I never tried before. But the way it looking, DefPrince wasn't sure. So I went for the pepper, make it taste better. She stopped me in a haste. She start interviewing, ask what I doing to disguise the taste. Since I cannot the pepper, I told Kim that I gone. Cause I ain't eating nothing that I can't put pepper on. Good God! Chilling in a party on the avenue, I met this young lady. This is what I do. I asked what she drinking, cause I was thinking what could happen next. Sooner than later the girl come over, it was time to flex. I offer her hot dog with bacon and corn. She say,
I ain't eating nothing that I can't put pepper on.
good God! Pepper shot.
We are back on Caribbean Insight TV, and we are on the road to Carnival 2020, and we're down here at Tuco's office chatting with Brother Resistance. He's given us an insight into some of the difficulties the Calypsonians still facing. What are some of the new events we have planned for 2020?
When it comes to Carnival, we are well structured within the context of producing the Calypso competitions, national Calypso competitions, within the umbrella or the framework of the National Carnival Commission. Right, so our mission, our main mission is that, our core activity is that. So in terms of the National Calypso Monarch, the seniors, there's the National Calypso Monarch for the juniors, there's the National Extempo Championship, there's Rapso Explosion for the practitioners of the oral tradition, and of course the Calypso tents. Yeah.
How many tents we have this year for 2020?
Well, that's difficult to say at this point in time. I know for us at Tuco, we run 4 Calypso tents. There's the Calypso House, and then there's we run 5, sorry. Calypso House, and then the zonal tents, Calypso Showcase in the south, Calypso Caravan in the east, Classic Russo in the north at City Hall, and in Tobago we have Magnificent Glow. Outside of that, it would have the Calypso Review, which is privately owned and run, and of course Review would be like a point of reference where Calypso tent business is concerned, so that's very important. The Icons run by Crow, you know, the Divas, the Calypso Cabaret International, that's run by Dr. Hartley, that's an all-female cast.
Okay.
Outside of that, we have the very important area, which is the community-based Calypso tents. In South alone, we have the Missionaires and the Birds. In South Central, there's the Central Rainbow Stars, run by KI&THE. In the North, there's the CDC tent, which is run by Paiman, with the support of the North Zone. There's a tent called Back to Basic, which is run by Winston Gypsy Peters, who is also the chairman of the NCC, and that tent is established to give a frontline support to hardcore, traditional, mainstream type Calypso stars. You know, so that's a very, very important Calypso tent within the landscape.
This year, 2020, we back in the Calypso Monarch. All Calypsonians have to sing 2 Calypsos.
Yes.
What take us back to the 2 Calypsos, because it was that before?
Yes, it was. The decision as to whether 1 Calypso or 2 Calypsos for the Calypso Monarch competition seniors is a decision taken by the members of the organization.
Explain.
Well, the members of the organization, they take part in a big way in the democratic process that we have established. That is one thing I feel good that within the Tuco that is under our leadership, that we try to give the members a voice in the process in everything that we do. So 1 minute we had 2 songs, which was about 2 or 3 years ago, and they came in the meeting when we discussing the carnival activity and how we're going to approach carnival, and they turned everything over and say, hey, we want 1 song, you know, and then so they voted and the 1 song carried. Subsequent to that, I think a number of singers, a number of members would have listened to the voice of the people, which is our largest stakeholder. And they would come in this meeting now when we discussing Carnival 2020, and they would say, you see, for 2020, it's 2 calypsos for the monarchy. And that's the rule that carries, so, you know.
Okay, it's a democratic process.
Democratic process.
When Carnival is over, what plans does Tuco have for Calypso?
When Carnival is over, Tuco continues its usual, its normal work. I listed a number of projects earlier in the conversation, so work on those projects continue. We're trying to establish more concrete relationships with the entertainment world outside of Trinidad and Tobago, because that's extremely important. We're trying to encourage the members to focus beyond the local calypso competition. The competition occupies a major part of their focus, and we're trying to say that there's so much happening in the world, various music festivals in Europe and North America, college circuits, etc. You know, there's so much space out there where entertainment is concerned, and if we could only get them to think that, hey, maybe I could step out there and, you know, apply my trade and present my work, maybe the world is bigger than I think, rather than just addressing a few judges and complaining when they pick you, and when they pick you, the judges is the greatest it ever had, but then judges are them nice. But when they pick you, you cost the judges, you cost Tuco, you cost the government. You know, we could do more than that. Calypso is such a powerful art form, such a spiritual art form. Calypso,
it's also a classical art form.
Yes, and we're talking about an art form that made its breakthrough since in the 1930s.
That's correct.
You know, a music that has been on the same Billboard charts that they say they want to take soca to the Billboard charts and all that. Calypso has been there and done that in the movies and so on. You know, so a number of things have happened for Calypso, but because the history is not known, there are persons who perform in the Calypso in the contemporary times, but do not even know the power of the music.
Well, we have some disgruntled Calypsonians out there, and everything they talk about, it seems to be negative towards Tuco. What do you have to say to them?
In any situation, there will be disgruntled persons. It's always difficult to please everybody or to try to please everybody. The most important thing that we can do is to make sure that we have a democratic process. You have a problem with your organization, bring it to your organization. Don't go out in the media and wash your dirty linen, because you're doing your organization harm. You know, you're not bringing down the president, you're bringing down your organization. So even if your president had to move for whatever reason, then the next person who comes into the office, right, shouldn't have the job to repair and patch the roof and all them. The person should come into a space that is already stable and recognize and acknowledge, not only in the entertainment business, but also in the social and political arena of your nation.
You still singing rap, sir?
Yeah, I can't stop that. I can't stop that at all, you know.
Well, because that's where I know you, brother and sister, that's singing rap, so. But I haven't heard from you for a while, like, but you still performing.
It has never been a case where I got much work in Trinidad, in my homeland.
Again, we go back to same thing.
That's my reality, and I understand that. Because when I made the first breakthrough carrying the music, it was in England. How many years ago? And then the people in Trinidad say, yeah, but we know that is B-boy. You know, so I understand all of that. But the year before, I think it was 2018, I was at the London Jazz Festival, where they did a celebration of the Windrush generation. I was part of the cast performing there. And then I also did a performance at a festival in Paris, you know. So I've been doing the work. I'm still recording. I'm still preparing a number of things, like, you know, I have a few documents to put forward because I think it's important to document the growth of the Rapso movement and the Rapso art form and that kind of thing, you know, and we shouldn't wait for any professor or anything from abroad to come and do that for us.
That's correct.
So we have to do that for ourselves. And of course we have the Carnival event, which is the Rapso Explosion. And Rapso Explosion is usually the Tuesday of Carnival week. And it is the official showcase of the official Carnival showcase of the oral tradition. So in that event, we will have performances by the Midnight Rubber, the Perro Grenade, etc. Against in the same context of the spoken word artists or the Rapso artist, the rhythm poet, all meet together, and we have, of course, some guest performances by Calypsonians. So Rapso Explosion is one of the best shows in the Carnival, I must say. Yes.
All right, guys. Rapso Explosion, and it's when Tuesday. Let's remind them.
It's the Tuesday before Carnival. In the week of Carnival, the week of Carnival is Tuesday.
The week of Carnival, the Tuesday. All right, so we have the Rapso Explosion is on. Well, because of development and changes, we have some venue changes with the Calypso business. Skinner Park used to be the big jam. That's the place where you go, you know, be careful for the toilet paper down there, it have its rank. But because they're doing some repair work, we have some changes. How is this affecting the Calypso season?
Well, it has affected us in a serious kind of way because, you know, going to Skinner Park come like it was part of the tradition.
That's correct.
You know, the venue was interwoven into the
fabric.
Yes. Right. So now we have to make that space available at Guaracara Park. So at Guaracara Park, our mission is to create or recreate that atmosphere, that World Calypso picnic, right, in the Guaracara Park venue. It is of course a bigger venue, and so we try to lay out the space, you know, and make the space more productive. But we feel that when we finish, put Guaracara Park together, then all the Calypso lovers, those who fly in, or those who come in from deep country and so on, they will really enjoy a very powerful, a very entertaining Calypso fiesta, where they get 40 of the top Calypsos performed by the Calypsonians throughout the season. Yes, we're doing 40, even though it's 2 songs. We're doing the 2 songs in the preliminary, and from that you qualify for the semi-final. And in the semi-final you're required to do 1 song, because of course if we didn't do that, we'd have to cut the number of singers in the event. And
right.
We felt it's more important to make sure that as many Calypsonians as possible get an opportunity. So we do 1 song in the semi-finals, and then in the final, we do the 2 songs.
They'll do the 2 songs.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. All right. Well, Guaracara Park might turn out to be someplace where you're going to be putting some dust in their face like Skinner Park was dust in their face. When we talk in Kaiso, we can't leave out extempo.
Not at all.
Fill us in on that.
And of course we have the National Extempo Championships. We try to make it a space where as many people as possible could come and take part. Even the registration for that closes on the night. We know that out there are singers, there are chanters, there are freestylers of the younger generation who wouldn't even realize that there's extempo to do. In extempo simply means that you're freestyling within a Calypso context.
That's correct.
Right? So it's open for everyone. And we move forward from that, and out of that we would crown the extempo champion. Of course, we know the reigning champion is now Brian London. You know, and it's nice to see somebody young. It's nice to see somebody younger extempo artist capturing the title. You know, it means a lot for the future of the art form. You know, that kind of way. So we're really proud of the way that's been going over the past few years, and so the National Extempo Championship. Of course, I stop at the line when you're looking for Calypso entertainment.
Okay, all right. Well, guys, you heard it from the man himself. You heard all about the festivities for the Calypso, for the Extempo show, for the Rapso, the big Rapso show coming up. So there's a lot to be a part of. Brother Resistance, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and stopping by and filling us in on what's happening with Tuco, Calypso, Rapso, and Extempo.
Well, I want to thank you for having me, for the invitation to do this interview. And I look forward to seeing you all again on more than one occasion throughout the course of the year. And of course, when we celebrate Calypso History Month, we know you will be there.
Okay. And to you, my fans and critics, I'll catch you at the next pit stop as we journey through Carnival 2020.